Good enough, right?
Way to expose it.
All right, Bryon Powell of iRunFar here, getting cozy with Dakota, Young Money Jones, and Matt, Old Man Hart. And how you guys doing this morning or this evening?
Doing very well. Thank you, Bryon.
Quite well. Thank you.
These guys have been hanging out a lot with each other the last about month or so.
About 5 weeks now.
We're on their the stoop of the house they've been renting up here in Silverton, Colorado. How's the training been going?
Matt?
It's been going well. I mean, when we got here, it was pretty snowy, so we got used to post holing and getting cut by the snow and lots of scree surfing. But it's melted pretty quick recently, so training's been good. It's been good. Altitude, we both kind of acclimatized pretty quick, I think. In a week or two, we felt somewhat normal.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nowhere to go but up around here, so yeah, it's been awesome.
It was hard for me at first to adjust to the different mileage, because getting 100 miles a week out here is a lot more difficult than getting 100 miles a week somewhere normal. So you go out here and you do 10 miles and it takes 3.5 hours. And like I look at my watch at the end of a run and I'm exhausted and I've only done 10 miles. And it takes some adjusting, but it's good because the vert that we get in that 10 miles is like 5,000 feet or more, and it's pretty cool to be able to. Once I made the switch, like I got used to that. The possibilities out here are pretty incredible.
Yeah. So you guys were training pretty darn hard there for a while. How do you feel going into taper? When did you guys start tapering?
I started tapering pretty much at the 2-week mark from the race. We did I probably finished with I think I had a 104-mile week, and then that week was like 90 for me. And we finished with 2 big days on the course. Darcy and I went from, where did we go from? Maggie's to Grouse one day, and the next day Dakota and Brett Gosney came out with us and his wife Missy, and we did Chapman to the finish, which was like 20 miles and took us almost 7 hours. So that tells you something about the course. I mean, we weren't flying, but
there's a lot of snow in that section.
A lot of snow. It took us a long time. So I was sick by the end of that last push, so I just cruised right into the taper and tried to recover.
You feeling rested up now?
I do. I still have a little upper respiratory, like, just lingering. I'll be fine. I'll be totally fine.
You, Dakota?
I feel great. I was really pretty exhausted by the 2-week mark. Like, it was kind of wearing on me mentally and physically, but the past 2 weeks I've rested a lot, and I'm fired up now to go up and do this some more. Do 100 miles all at once. It's a new thing for me.
You got one finish, right?
100-mile finish. I'm 1 for 1 there, but it wasn't quite Hardrock. But really, I mean, if there's any 100-mile race that I want to do, it's Hardrock. These mountains are inspiring to me, and it's going to be fun.
I mean, you really found out about ultra running by learning of Hardrock, right?
Yeah.
You're from Durango, you're living in Durango.
Yeah, the race director works at the high school I went to, and so he told me about it, and then I came up and volunteered, and it was like the shift, where the traditional backpack, boots, everything, hiking, and then I saw this, and I was like, these people are doing way more than I am, and they're wearing running shoes and booty shorts, so I took up that trend pretty quick.
So you're into the booty shorts?
Yeah, my tan, I'd like to compare tans with all the starters, because I'm pretty sure mine would be the highest.
I'm thinking there's a good chance of that.
Yeah.
So this is like living a dream you've had for a long time.
Definitely. Yeah, it's been really great living up here, working at the coffee shop. It's been fun living with Matt, because he's awesome. So
Hopefully you can edit that.
No, that was the best pregnant pause I've had all week.
Yeah, it's been fun. And it's going to be too bad once the race is over. I'm going to be all alone again, working at the coffee shop, probably living in my truck.
So what are you looking forward to most, Matt?
During the race?
Yeah, like this coming weekend. What's got you stoked?
I'll be excited the whole thing, the whole prospect of running 100 miles in these mountains, like, just the adventure of it, like, seeing my crew when I'm worked and picking up Luke Nelson and Ellen Parker. I'm sure that's just going to be awesome and sort of revitalize me. I don't know, just seeing how I can do, now that we've actually spent time here, and I feel like I put a good training block in for it. So I'm just curious, what's going to happen.
Does you feel like, does that add more pressure? I mean, like, there's races you sort of go through your schedule and you just get out there and do them, but these are, for both of you, a race that you've really focused on. Does that make you more excited for the event, or?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit more pressure, but, I mean, for me, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I think Dakota probably gets more pressure than I do, being picked to win it all the time. So I don't really feel it. I just push it off. Yeah.
So speaking of win, what's your goal this weekend, Dakota? I mean, what are you looking to do out there? Like, I mean, obviously finish, but
yeah, I mean, I guess there'd be like levels of goals, right?
Yeah.
Like the number one goal would be to finish. I mean,
it's Hardrock, isn't it?
I want to run Hardrock. I want to finish, and then I'd like to go under 30 hours, and anything faster than that would be great. I mean, I'm just gonna. It's hard to tell at this point. I'm so new to the distance, and this race in particular it's Hardrock, and so I'm just gonna make a really conscious effort to take it easy and run smart till about the halfway point around Engineer Aid Station or Uray at like 56 miles, and if I'm feeling good there and I'm doing well, then I'll be able to push it more, and by then I'll have an idea of what kind of time I could look for, and I guess as fast as I could do it, right? That's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens out there, because there's a lot of unknowns for me.
Any particular unknown that's sort of like looming out there?
Probably just the 100-mile distance in general. I mean, I kind of my 100-mile race that I did, I totally blew up at 50 miles, and I staggered in, but it was an epic ordeal, and I'm hoping this will be a little bit more under control. I've trained really, I've focused on this really hard, and I did everything that I could think of to prepare myself for it. And really, I mean, if I could prepare this well for all of life's challenges, I'd be doing great.
How about you, Matt? What are you looking? What's your sort of goals out there this weekend?
Really kind of the same as Dakota. Like, definitely, no doubt about it. I'm finishing regardless if I fall apart or have to take a nap or whatever else happens. And then, run under 30. And, looking at splits, like, used to be you run under 30 and you're in the top 5.
At least, yeah.
But this year, I just don't think that's the case. A lot of people are going to be, I think there'll be a lot of people under 30, like 10.
Mm-hmm.
But then, who knows? A handful of those people could blow up too. And so, I mean, just as fast as I can under 30. I always go out slow because I don't have the speed of these guys. So,
slow for you to move up through the day?
Yeah, I mean, that's the plan. That's what's exciting for me. Yeah, go out easy and then hopefully have something in the tank to just turn myself inside out for the last 30 miles or so.
Cool. Well, here's something I just thought of. Matt, why don't you ask Dakota a question? You could ask Dakota one question about Hardrock. What's that going to be?
Wow, we live together. We've asked every question possible, so I know all the answers to his questions.
Well, that makes the questions even more interesting.
What would I ask Dakota?
You got one on the tip of your tongue for Matt, Dakota?
What section are you most looking forward to running? Because he knows the course pretty well.
I don't know. I think I've talked about handies a lot. I think I'm looking forward to going over handies, because the last time I did it was one of my last big runs before the taper, and I was out of gels, and it was like getting dark, and it was just this epic ordeal, and it broke me going up that thing. And I'm interested in going back there tapered and feeling good, 30 miles into the race, but if I do things right, I'll still feel good at 30 miles, and I'm psyched to do it, to hike up it and feel good again. It's going to be a major obstacle to overcome on the course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember that night because I was getting worried about where you were, and when you were coming home from your run. And about 11, you burst in with barely anything on. Totally fucking worked. So yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That's good.
How about you, Dakota?
Do I have any questions for Matt?
Yeah. But Hardrock, life, whatever.
What's been your favorite part about Silverton, the town?
The town. Just location to the course, really.
Not the nightlife?
The the nightlife.
There's a lot of that
There's
here.
a bike in town that I really enjoy.
Riding with Dakota.
Yeah, it's a 2-person bike that we cruise around in sometimes.
That's how we get around, mainly.
I don't know, everyone's really nice here. There's just not a lot of people, so you kind of know everyone. And it's a cool small town feel. 550 people year round. That's tiny. It's the last real mountain town. I like that all the roads are dirt. I like that I don't have to lock my bike at the wherever I go in town. It's just a cool place.
Nice. Well, best of luck to you both this weekend, and have fun out there.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bryon.
It out that way.
What is that, peaches?
I don't even know how that came up. I don't even know where that came from.
I had no part of that.
You weren't here.
But I'm not gonna lie that the parallels are pretty.
Peaches and cream.
So who's peaches, who's cream, Matt?
I'm peaches, because I don't eat dairy, so he's definitely cream.
I'm not gonna argue.